There's a lot of people out there who are interested in business ownership, but who stay on the sidelines playing it safe because you don't have the confidence that you know how to help yourself be successful. Well, that is the point of Kim Daly TV. But in this video specifically, I'm going to be talking to you. So if you have fears or insecurities, am I ready to be a business owner? How am I going to make this business successful? I want you to lean in to the video. Now, if you're already a business owner and you follow me because maybe I've helped you become a franchisee, or you just found my YouTube channel while you were stumbling, looking for some inspiration, well, I'm equally glad that you are here, because some of the tools and tactics that I've picked up over the 2 decades of my life that I've been a business owner may serve you in a moment of distress or a moment of frustration in your business ownership journey. So if you're new to my channel, hello and welcome. My name is Kim Daly. I'm a franchise consultant, a little bit of a business coach. But for the last 2 decades of my life, I have been helping people just like you say yes to the dream to own a business by investing in proven businesses called franchises. So my job as a franchise consultant is to get to know you and to match franchise opportunities to your background, interests, skills, and then to teach you how to explore a franchise so that you can feel confident in the decision that you're making, whether it's yes or no, but you'll feel confident in the due diligence process you've gone through so that you can feel confident in your final answer. So if you get inspired to explore franchise opportunities and you want me to be your franchise consultant, stay with me to the end and I will explain how you could be my next candidate. So let's talk about what Kim Daly does when her business is in the gutter. We don't have to go all the way to the gutter right away, but we'll say when my business is in a valley. We want to get to the mountaintop, and right now we're in a valley, or we're worried that we're going to be in a valley that we don't know how to climb out of. And I get it. It's a scary place, especially when your life savings is invested in the business. And there's a lot of people out there who find themselves in this moment. And you know what? It's unrealistic to think if you're going to own a business, you're never going to have a valley. Most of what I've learned the valleys, and the reason that I'm successful is because I was able to persevere and climb my way out. And then with those new climbing tools that I developed, I was able to get higher and higher and higher. And so the point of this video is to share some of those climbing tools with you. Really, the only way you are ever going to learn is by putting yourself in the game of business ownership and doing, because we learn more by doing than we do by hearing. But let's first start with hearing to see if we can alleviate some of your nerves. We can help you feel confident that, okay, I understand what she's saying, so I think I could make a decision to become a business owner and feel more confident that I know what's up ahead of me on this journey. So before I talk about what I do in a valley, I'm going to talk about what I don't do, because knowing what not to do could be, probably is, more important than what I do. The first thing that I don't do, and I'll put it in brackets, anymore, because this is going to be the first and most natural thing that we all want to do when life isn't going our way. And that is to go talk to everybody and anybody who will listen to me. When things aren't going well, the natural tendency is to go find people who will validate with us why things aren't going well. And that is a rabbit hole that you must avoid. There's a reason for that, and I'm going to get to that later. So the first thing that I don't do is talk to anybody about what is going wrong and share what is going wrong in my business, and therefore perpetuate what is going wrong in my business. That's the first thing. The second thing that I don't do is ignore it. So sometimes when things are really hard, right, the human tendency is to, I'm just going to turn my eye. I'm just going to ignore it. It's going to get better on its own, right? Laugh with me, because we all know this is true. This was even true when I was a personal trainer in the gym, right? And people had, weight loss goals. And I'm like, okay, what did you weigh today? And on the scale, and give me that number. You were avoiding the truth. As business owners, when we're in a valley, it's very, very easy to ignore the truth. So the second thing I don't do anymore, avoid the truth. Okay, the third thing that I don't do anymore when I'm in a valley in my business is look at my bank account every single day. Because how good does that make you feel? It doesn't make you feel very good, especially if money's going out and money is not coming back in at the rate in which you want it to. The only thing that looking at that bank account over and over and over does is seal your belief that you are in the gutter. Well, you already know you're in the gutter. So we do not have to perpetuate the feeling that that invokes. We do not have to perpetuate the reality that is in our face. That is not something that I do anymore. So let's talk about what I do now that I have figured out how to be successful as a small business owner. And this is the gold. This is what I want you to take away from the video. The first thing that I do is I look in the mirror. One thing that I've learned to be true is if I want to own my business when I'm on the mountaintop, and of course I do, then I have to own that business when I'm in the valley. I know it's not a sexy message. I know it's not one that anybody ever really wants to hear, but this is the truth. If you're going to own it when it's up here, you got to own it when it's down here. So the first thing is look in the mirror, get it over with. There's nobody to blame but the person staring back at you in your reflection. No matter the economy, no matter what you thought you were going to get from your franchisor, no matter anything that is external to you. So after I look at myself in the mirror and say, okay, Kim, you got yourself here. You are the one to get yourself out of here. Then the next thing I'm going to do is get out my goals and dreams sheet. Always, as business owners, we need a big vision. So have I lost sight of my vision? Am I not waking up, showing up to make these dreams a reality? Are my dreams not big enough that they're inspiring me and motivating me? This is a question you have to ask yourself. So the vision is where this began. I wanted to be a business owner because I had a vision for the life that I wanted, the person that I wanted to become, the things that I wanted to have, the money that I wanted to be able to make. So are all of those things still true? Do I need to up my game? Do I need to up the ante so that I'm a little more motivated? Or have I just lost sight of my own vision? In the Bible, it says that where there is no vision, the people perish. If you're a ship in the middle of the ocean and you don't have a port, you're lost at sea. So are you a business owner who's in the middle of the ocean, lost at sea, because you don't have a port? You're not aiming towards something clear and specific? So if you find yourself in a valley, the first thing you got to do is look in the mirror and then go back to your goals and dreams. Now, the second thing is if you've worked with me to become a business owner, you've probably already developed your daily plan. This is your navigation system on board that ship, right? The navigation system that's reverse engineered your annual goal all the way down to your daily bite-sized goals. These are the daily KPIs. This is how we execute every single day, knowing where we are in relation to where we want to be. If I'm in a valley, let me talk about myself. When I'm in a valley, more than likely, I've lost sight of my KPIs, which is easy to do. Again, I'm not judging. The reason I can make this video is because I've already made all of these mistakes and I'm here to tell you about them. But it's also not reality that you're going to watch this video one time, you're going to go own a business, and you're never going to make some of the same mistakes, especially the 3 things that I don't do anymore. You're definitely going to do those. And then you're going to hopefully hear Kim Daly in your ear and go, oh, this is what she told me what not to do. Then maybe you'll flip back over and remember what to do. So look in the mirror, get your vision, and then reverse engineer your annual financial goals down to your daily activity goals. How do you have to show up? What are the activities that you need to be doing and the KPIs that you need to be hitting every single day? If you're in that valley, it's because you've lost sight of those daily goals. 100% of the time, that has been a true statement for me. So I'm assuming that it could be a true statement for you as well. Because here's the thing. If your goals are related to activity, An activity relates to you then earning money. What else could be going wrong? So it's a focus or a lack of focus on the things that are driving the greatest result in your business, which are the things that you ultimately have control over. In every business, there are things that we as the owner have no control over. In fact, in my business, it's kind of laughable how many things I actually don't have control over. There's only a couple of things in my business that I do have control over. But here's what I've learned. My success in what I do, which has everything to do with all of those things, if I'm controlling what is mine to control, all of those things external to me never impact the result of my business. Wow, that's a statement. It's a true statement. So I own it. And when I control what is mine to control, I have proven to myself that anything external to me that was never mine to control was never mine to control. It wasn't the thing that was blocking me from being successful or the thing that was leading me to being successful. Think about that for a minute. So if you have your navigation plan and you're showing up to drive your business forward, acting on those activity plans, and I commit myself to following through on that activity plan, immediately what happens to Kim Daly is I move from fear to faith. I move from fear to fun. Because once I start taking activity, it makes me feel in control. And when we're in control of things, how is our mood generally? Pretty darn good. So especially if you're course correcting in your business over and over and over, and you start to really refine the skill that's necessary to bring you back to your sweet spot, wow, then course correcting becomes easy. And actually, the more times you do this, the less time you're going to spend course correcting, because you're going to develop a new habit, a new way of thinking about your business, a new way of showing up for your business, a new way of executing your business. And that's the goal. The day that you signed your franchise agreement and you were dreaming about being this owner who had this life, what you were really dreaming of was owning a business where you had control over your future and your time and your money. Well, when you find yourself in this place that I'm getting you to, because you have a vision, because you have daily bite-sized goals and you're showing up to execute to those daily goals, and you feel in control and you're starting to incrementally make progress, and the progress creates momentum. And then maybe you lose sight of that and you fall off track a little bit, but you course correct and you bring yourself back. And every time you do that, you course correct faster and it brings you back faster. Owning it. When I say owning it, that's what I mean. And that's when your attitude for what you do becomes unstoppable. And what happens when your attitude is unstoppable? I don't know what happens to you, but I'll speak for myself. When I feel unstoppable, I'm excited to come to work. I'm excited and motivated to show up and do great things in my business. And when I am expecting, great things happen. And there's a reason for that, because that is the law of the universe. So you've heard me say that there are laws that govern the principles of success. And that law that I just spoke of is the law of attraction. I'm sure you've heard of it. The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. And the movie, it made the law of attraction this mainstream phrase. Now, the law of attraction is actually a secondary law. The first law is the law of vibration, that all things in the universe are vibrating. Everything is moving. This is why, as a business owner, you always have to be growing, because if you're not going forward by the law, you're going backward. Everything is in constant motion. Every cell in your body, every thought in your head, everything in the universe. To use the law of attraction or the law of vibration to your benefit is to create this abundant activity that then creates momentum, and that momentum moves your attitude, and that attitude creates more great positive thoughts and more great attitude. And from that, all good things will manifest. Now, what typically happens when you're in the valley, if you start talking to all the people that you know who will validate, yes, the economy is so hard, and yes, your franchisor lets you down, and will validate to you all the things that you're feeling, and they really may be true. The only thing that you are doing by festering and by talking is creating more of that reality by the same law of attraction. So over here, I've taught you how to spiral that law to your benefit, to create the momentum in your business, the positive momentum. And you create that through your activity, and then your activity breeds results, and your results create your attitude, and then from your attitude, it creates more. And that's the law of momentum. You're like a snowball at the top of the hill and going down, it's gaining momentum. That's how you find yourself in this abundant environment where almost nothing can go wrong. And nothing outside of you changed in order for you to create that place. So go over here to what I told you not to do. When you're talking to these people and you're talking yourself down and you're spiraling yourself down, you're adding the same momentum, but in a negative direction. You are talking yourself deeper into that valley. So the reason I said I do not talk to anybody when things are going wrong is because I'm not going to feed what I don't want. That is what most business owners do. Heck, that's what most humans do. You know, we all find ourselves in a negative place and we want people to validate us. And so we start looking for that. But through this video, I hope you will realize, wow, I'm only hurting myself when I do that. You're only adding more fuel to that fire. Is that serving you? Is that getting you to a good place? So when you've heard me say things like, you can't get to the solution from the problem, this is why. You can't talk to people who are struggling in their business and understand what leads to success. This is why. So hopefully you see that now. So now, going back to what I do to drive the success in my business. So now we've got this positive momentum created by me. How do I keep that going? Because the minute that you start taking action and you create activity, it doesn't take 2 to 3 months. So it could be 90 days before I see the financial result, the payoff of the activity that I'm taking in my business. So every business has a different gestation period. But here's the thing, let's use the farmer. When the farmer puts the seeds in the ground, is he then looking for the plant the next day? Is he tossing and turning in bed at night thinking, oh my God, are these seeds ever going to germinate? When are they going to germinate? Am I going to get a harvest? He's not doing any of that. He's working the land, fertilizing the soil, maybe adding some water, helping Mother Nature move it along. But he's not worried about it. He knows that in due season, he will reap if he has sown. You must also believe that in due season, if you have sown good seeds of faith and expectancy with the right activities that move your business forward, controlling only what is yours to control and forgetting the rest, that in due season, you will reap a harvest. And how do I know this? This is another law. And I'm going to show you Newton's cradle right here. This is a handy little tool that I would put on my desk if I were you as a business owner, because it's going to clearly demonstrate to you what I'm showing to you. We all know this from high school science, but let me just remind you of what you learned back in the 9th, 10th, or 11th grade. Okay, so Newton told us that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So see, one marble moves one marble. 2 marbles move 2 marbles. 3 marbles move 3 marbles. So the law is that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So if you're out there and you're not getting what you deserved, then you need to give more, because that is the law. To the extent that you give, then you will receive. The problem with a lot of business owners, and I was one of those people, is that we are looking to get before we really have figured out how to give. It's a very basic law, one that we know in terms of maybe donating money or giving good to other people, but not one that is commonly applied to business ownership. Maybe this is the first time you've ever thought about it with regard to owning a business. This is why earnings claims mean absolutely nothing to anybody, because they're numbers on a piece of paper. Unless we know how you have to wake up and show up and serve, and how many people you have to serve, how many no's you have to go through, how many no's you have to look at an earnings claim and think, well, that's what I'm going to make from this investment. You are the biggest determining factor of how much you give. That earnings claim also could be nothing compared to your potential, because you may be willing to give 5 times or 10 times the effort of what the people who that average earnings claim was made around. So forget about earnings claims for right now and think about how you can sow more and more seeds into your community. If those seeds need to go into your employees, then sow into your employees. If those seeds need to be sown out into the community, then sow into your community. But the law is that as you sow, so shall you reap. And you cannot break the law. You cannot get back more than you give. So don't ever worry about overgiving. You got to give and give and give until you feel like you have nothing left to give. And sometimes, even when you feel you have nothing left to give and you give more, that's the breaking moment. That's the moment when everything in your business changes. Now, here's the thing. Most people will quit right before that. So don't be the quitter. This is why you have to have that strong determination, the will to persevere. It's in perseverance that most success actually happens. Okay, so this is what we do to build a successful business. So what are the things that I do to keep my mindset in this positive, abundant growth place when I'm in the waiting season? There are certain things that I do. So I turn to some very, very good books. You've probably heard these books or seen these books on my YouTube channel before. The #1 book, the best book, Kim Daly's favorite book, probably the book that most changed my life, is Earl Nightingale, The Strangest Secret. This is a must read. It is on Audible on my phone, and I dedicate myself over and over and over to listening to this book. Repetition is the mother of skill. These are tools. This is not a book that you read and it's a one and done. This is a book that the more you read it, the more you get it, and you can never get it all the way. I have listened to this book on Audible probably over 100 times. And even if I put in 100 more times, it wouldn't be enough because of the depth of the gold that's in here, that sets my mindset straight, that keeps me believing and expecting and remembering that my thoughts have creative power, that the things that I'm talking about and the people that I'm talking to. So this is a book that, spawned Bob Proctor's entire career. Bob Proctor, the creator of the Proctor Gallagher Institute, went all over the world as one of the greatest personal development leaders of our time. And what did he say? Every single day of his life, he read from this book. Now, this book looks brand new. I've read and reread this book as well. But again, I Audible the book. I Audible the book when I'm walking my dog, when I'm doing the dishes, when I'm at the gym. I'm feeding my mind with positive, abundant thoughts, with rich ideas that when I'm sleeping, my mind will marinate on. Ideas that I can bring into my business, ideas that I can offer to you. This is what you must do if you want to be successful. Put rich ideas into your mind and nurture those ideas. Journal. I spend a few minutes almost every single day journaling, whether it's on things that I'm grateful for, because expressing gratitude is one of the greatest ways to receive more abundance in your life. But if it's journaling on gratitude, or maybe it's journaling affirmations, if I'm really trying to grow past like a set point in myself, and we all have conditional set points. We all have these set points in our bodies and in our minds that we feel we're worth. They're limiting beliefs. They're not true, but if we're not aware of what they are, we certainly can't push past them. So I spend time journaling on affirmations. So I may write 50 or 100 times something that I'm trying to make a new belief in myself, in my mindset. It's repetition, repetition. These are tools that you need to adopt if you want to be a successful business owner. It's reading, it's journaling, it's affirming in the positive, that which you want. And the last thing I would do is surround myself with people who already have what I want. I always want to be around people who are growing, who have more than I have, who have something to offer to me at the place that I am. Now, in a franchise, this is awesome because there may be other franchisees who already have what you want. But let's say that you're the top performer in your franchise and you already have accomplished everything there is to be accomplished. You can't sit back on your laurels. You have to go find a bigger peer group. And they're out there. There are coaches who will bring you on. There are masterminds that you can join. There's so many ways that you can continue to grow and develop your mindset if your mindset is the biggest determining factor of the success in your business. And clearly, after this video, you see that the success equation really is 80% how you think, how you talk, and how you act. And it's not big things that successful people are doing that average performing or struggling people are not doing. It's small things like not talking about it to everybody, like not ignoring the problem and not facing the reality by looking at your bank account and igniting your nervous system to that level of fear every single day. Switch your focus to things that can empower you, a mindset that is rich and abundant and growing, and activities that are the right activities that will inch your business forward. If you're doing these things and you have a heart full of faith and expectancy, I promise you, one day you're going to wake up and you're not only going to be dreaming that dream, you're going to be living that dream. And the greatest thing about standing on that mountaintop after pulling yourself out of this valley is you will know with certainty that you are the one who did it. Regardless of what happened in the economy, regardless of what happened with anything external to you, you will know that it was you who held the power all along. And when you get to that mountaintop, that is the day you're going to start looking for your next business. That is the day that you were waiting for the entire time that you said yes to business ownership. I hope this video has set you free from so many limiting beliefs, from so many thoughts that may have been hindering you from wanting to become a business owner. I hope that you were inspired. And if you are a business owner, I hope that I've loosened you up a little bit and you're ready to get back in your business, get your head in the game and start inching forward. And if there's anything that I can do to help you move from this moment to either becoming a franchisee or to help you move to the next phase of business ownership, well, you know that I want to be your franchise consultant and your daily coach. Please follow the link in the description right now because I can't wait to meet you.